sis. Well, I'm ready. I'm ready to do this. Here's the first sock. We don't have our regular setup, so it's kind of difficult to get a good angle on you. I have my green working yarn, and I have my pink raspberry working yarn, and then this bright yellow stitched all the way across is my lifeline. You can see how I had 7 stitches that were uneven, coming down to the point and then back up in a diagonal. I'm gonna back this needle out of these live stitches. Whew. And then slowly pull that raspberry yarn out of there. Wish me luck. I'll be back. Okay, whew, I'm back. It wasn't as difficult as I thought it was. After I could bring it really close to my eyes, then I could see that my lifeline was just twisted around the working yarn. So I got some more live stitches here to take out. So I'm just focusing on making sure that I grab all the ones that come loose along that yellow lifeline. All right. Okay, so this last one that I tucked on that needle is actually one that should be ripped. That one. You hear the little dog snoring? That's not my Sadie girl. I'm working an overnight tonight and I have some company. Little dog with a little nose. There we go. Okay. So now the lifeline. All right, so I had to grab this. This is my 3 to the side. And the lifeline is definitely running through this one. Oh man. I just don't want to lose any of that heel flap. Because, I mean, it's complicated to have to figure out how to count it or how to go back. All right, that one's in the lifeline. For sure. That was on the lifeline. But now, since it was pushed into the lifeline, I can't unknit anymore because it's in the lifeline. See how it's all tangled up on it? I mean, like when I sewed in the lifeline, grabbing those legs, I'm flustered. Look at that. The heck do I do with that mess? All right. This is not a tutorial. This is a what not to do. So when I started this disastrous mess, I got to a point where I was all tangled up. And I rolled it up and put it away, and then I continued to grab the other sock and make a total disaster out of it. So I don't know if I should wind this one up and just start in on the other one. See, that's nice and neat. That's just following along my lifeline with the live stitches. This end, should I cut the lifeline? No, that sounds ridiculous. Can't cut a lifeline. Shouldn't cut a lifeline. Well, not until you've got them all your live stitches protected, right? That was the whole purpose of the lifeline. Okay, I feel like I got those 4 secure on there. Got a loose loop there, not attached to anything. The lifeline does not go into it. Maybe it does way down there. Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna go off camera and fumble this around a bit more. I'll be back, sis. Whew, okay. I ended up using 2 darning needles and another piece of white yarn. I wish I would have had some more embroidery cotton. The cotton slides through the woolly stitches very well. So I just went back through and very slowly pulled the stitches apart so I could make sure that I was grabbing the top of each one. The lifeline that I put in with Theresa, it followed nice and straight, nice and flat. I was able to pick up all 32 stitches, which is half of my original 64. So I'm in good spot there. I just put my needle stoppers back on so I don't lose anything. My next challenge is to clean up this bit. So this is my working yarn. And if you can see on the back side of it, let me move my lifeline. It's gotten snagged and tucked into these stitches. So what I need to do is I need to take my needle and thread my live stitches back on my needle and make it all nice and clean. So as I take this edge and I work under and over the loops, I'm going to untangle the live, pull out the white, check one more time, pull out my lifeline, and then we're set back to 0. All right, I'm going to do that. Whew, I'm over here sweating. Be right back. Ta-da! Okay, so I worked back across one more time, backing out my white lifeline and the yellow lifeline. Highly recommend having a darning needle just because those little loops really get stuck on themselves. And I am back to the correct stitch count. I have 32, which is half the original 64 live stitches on the working needle, working yarn coming off the correct side. Whew. It took me just as long to pull out the work than it did for me to fudge up the work. So, pro tip, if it doesn't feel right, doesn't look right, I need to just stop. Okay, I got the other one over here. I'm gonna work on that and I'll be back. Thank you so much for your support. Just being here is support, helping to encourage me to keep going and not just stick them in timeout. All right, I'm gonna go work the other one. I got a rhythm going. All right, be right back, sis. Ooh, okay, 2 socks. Back to the same position. I have my heel flap. And now I need to continue forward. I have 32 stitches, which is half of the 64. And yeah, all right. So now I'm ready to do a heel turn. Theresa mentioned a heel turn that I should look into. It's called Fish Lips Kiss, FLK. And she says that it is a pattern on Ralvery, and it's $1, and it's very, very simple. Maybe I'll go take a look at it and see what I can do now that I'm ready to move forward. Thank you so much for holding my hand in that process. It definitely helped to know that I needed to do that this week so that they didn't get shoved into a corner. All right, friends. Thank you, thank you. See you soon. Take care, you silly yarny sister socktacular on a Saturday. Bye.